Hey guys.
and this is going to be episode 5 of Vladimir the Terrible, and he's got himself on a 3-6 and 5-10 deep table, playing some 6-handed pot limit Omaha, and we're going to walk you guys through his thought process.
Yep. Um, you have actually another table. Let's see if it has more active players. Um, yeah, I'm actually gonna get. Do you prefer 5-10 tables or 3-6 and 5-10? So we can probably see some difference between 3-6 and 5-10.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter either way, whichever table is running.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to play a little bit tighter. This is what I've been trying lately overall. Sort of have stronger range as post flop.
Right.
See, I don't know anything about this guy. This Joker Star seems to be playing higher as well. This Brosip guy is on both tables, and Mehedi as well. Right. He should be fishing a little bit. He limped before. He is also playing some sit and goes at the same time. Folding this. Do you open this from the cutoff, assuming button is not too aggressive?
Um, yeah, that's probably playable. If it was a little bit better, I think the cards are a little bit too small. If you had something like, say, King Jack, 8-7, I would definitely open it.
If you have
Double
Jack
suited
9, 6, 7, is
Jack
it
9-6-7, I would open. Yeah, just
okay? The
slightly better.
five, the five is a little bit annoying. Okay, yeah. I played some live Omaha in London. It
I
was
imagine the games were really soft.
yeah, no limit you can't play. You can't really play no limit full ring because people fold. You just have to wait so long for a hand. So Omaha is better, but you still have to be careful about three betting because five people call. So like you bleed the pot. So you just stick to premium hands and flop, post flop, and still stack them.
Yeah, I
And I
imagine it's 5 players to the flop pretty
yes,
much every time.
6, 7 players. And I had a problem with like saying I'm raising. So basically what happened was the button was a guy from Spain who played APT and he was short stacking and just potting and then potting any flop and getting it in. Maybe some strategy, he just pot opened the pre-flop and then he was like pot committed anyway with like any pair. So I had like queen, queen, anything, and everybody limped. So I limped. He opened, and like three players called, and the flop came queen 7-4 with a flush draw. So everybody checks. I check to the button who pots, and then some fish who is like 40 years, whatever, I don't know, from India, maybe from Africa. He calls, and I got top set, so I got a raise. And I actually say raise and puts the chips in, and he goes like to the dealer, "Did he say raise?" And I'm like, "Yes, I did." And the dealer says yes, and he says he didn't hear me say raise. So obviously we know he's got a flush draw or something. He wanted
Right.
to see the turn cheaply. And I'm like, "Yes, I said raise." I also put the chips with both hands in. Um, and he asks the table if anybody else heard that I said raise. Everybody's silent. So anyway, the dealer says, well, it was raised, and he thinks for a little bit, but calls. The turn is a queen, so I made quads, which is good. And he checks, and I go all in, and I'm like really loud, and I'm all in. Did you hear that? And he calls, and then I show him quads, and he throws away his cards over the table. This is really annoying, and I actually laughed a little bit after the hand because it was so annoying to play. Then after 10 minutes, he was like, "Ah, you're not playing any hand anymore. You won one hand. Now you're sitting doing nothing." Um, and I was told you sort of have to be nice to people like him because they're the fish, They actually give you money, so you have to be friends with them. and it's a little bit unusual to me. So I
Right.
quit. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Anyway, live. I liked it a little bit, but I guess you get bored after a week or so playing live, unless it's super high. So here we are opening. Do you actually? We have antes here. So do you go for pot? I mean, we are. Let's see. Yeah, actually gonna open pot because the guy in the small blind is really loose. Um, but I don't know. What's your overall strategy? If you have antes, do you prefer opening for pot or still go for 3x?
I usually make it 3.5x.
Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, we got an ace as well. And he's not full stacked. I know I have to make the decision before you tell me what to do. My God. Let's see. Oh man. I mean, calling is like I think calling is not even a good option because he's gonna just pot any flop. We just don't know what to do on most flops unless we flop a set, which is happening so rarely. But he's been active. I mean, how often does he have aces? I think I just get it in, but I'm not too sure. Given he's got doesn't have a full stack, I think if he's got 100 BB, I don't even know what to do if he's got 100 BB actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty close spot. I like the way you played it. I think you have to either fold or four bet here, and given the small sample size of the hand or that we have on him, the fact that he's not topping off, probably
Yeah,
pretty happy to just go with
and
it.
he played like 5 hands so far, which is a small sample, but he played 4 out of 5 hands, so we can assume he's a little bit more loose, probably a little bit gambly.
Right.
Nine, seven, seven, sixes. So actually, we could three bet this. Um, because you're so deep. But I guess it's just a fold. I used to call with hands like this. They are like connected and have a pair in them, but I'm not sure lately if it's good call at all in position. If I'm on a button, I guess it's a call. I'm on a cutoff now, so I don't even know. I feel like I used to think that I can call and everybody else calls, and I can flop a straight, I can flop a set. But I think you told me it's not. It's closer than that. Should be probably sometimes a fold.
Right.
So he's sitting out. I got another limper. Just gonna check. I'm gonna lead the flop. I got a pair, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. You can take it down right away if nobody has anything.
Yeah, pretty standard.
What type of turns do you barrel if you get called? Any turn because he's got a flush draw a lot?
Yeah, I'd barrel pretty much any turn if he just calls here. There's just too wide of a range that he can have, and
Yeah,
he's generally going to have a weak range.
yeah, just a pair sometimes. Like check raise, so you just mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too much action so far.
Yeah.
We actually need to get a hand to play.
Games are just moving pretty slowly.
Yeah, it's almost like live.
Yeah. Against some of the weaker players, you can be a little bit unbalanced. Like what you were saying before about wanting to open to pot because the guy in the small blind is just playing really loose. You can do things like that against fish because they're obviously not paying attention
Yeah,
to
they
your
don't know what
bet
is that.
sizing.
You can just pot with nuts and bet smaller with a draw to, because they Don't realize it probably. All right. So yeah, I'm opening this on a button. I mean, I'm opening on a button just any hand, given we have antes in the middle, so it's more money to steal.
Yeah, I'd fold maybe the bottom 15% or so because the small blind is loose, maybe bottom 20%.
Yeah. Actually, I had a discussion with a guy about top 50% of Omaha hands, and we did some Pro Poker Tool stuff, and we noticed, or actually, I'm not sure if that's correct, that 6, 7, 8, 9 rainbow is like bottom 35 of opening range or playable range, and I'm not sure about it. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's like rundown. Even though it's not suited, how can it be so weak? Is it because like Pro Poker Tools probably goes like you are playing against random hand, or you does it calculate you playing against aces mostly, or how would you rate like 6, 7, 8, 9 rainbow or 5, 6, 7, 8 rainbow?
I think I've talked about this in prior videos, but generally rainbow hands in PLO are just pretty bad. I wouldn't put it as that low. I'd put it maybe a little bit better, but it's still not a good hand.
So I mean, if it was like single suited, is it so much better if it's single suited? Um,
It's
I,
better for sure.
okay, I felt like if you get the money in, you have a low flush anyway, low flush draws, so you are like dominated by bigger flush draws. Um, Actually, we have a hand on the right. I mean, I should have just let the flop. I forgot about it. Um, and I bet the turn he just called, and now he's betting. So I feel like he must have missed something. He didn't raise the turn. What is he value betting now? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, king, queen, ace, king, queen, flush draw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty standard call against him. So the reason even a small flush draw is important there is you get into situations where the flop might come something like 8-6-2 and you have top two with the flush draw and you're pretty happy just sticking all the money in there and you get it in against the set, you have so much more equity now even though your flush draw is small.
yeah,
It comes up even on like a rainbow board. Say you flop a straight and your opponent flopped a straight, having a backdoor flush draw is going to give you 4% more equity. It's just situations like that. Pretty much
yeah,
any time, even one of your suits flop, it raises your equity.
yeah. That might be true. So on the left, this is weird. I mean, we have a flush draw. This is a spot I don't know what to do. He's leading for like we have a flush draw. That's so we have like 20% equity. I guess it's just a muck, unless he leads the turn with bluffs. I
He
think it,
check called and led.
yeah, and lets a turn
I'd probably bluff raise him there.
with equity with a flush draw. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I need to do more.
you
Yeah,
should make it like 375 or something. You have a five there too,
yeah, we have blockers. So he needs
and
ace five or 5, 6.
I'd be really surprised if he's leading 5-6 there, because pretty much half the deck or more than half the deck on the river is gonna no longer give him the nuts. I think he'd be much more likely to either check call or check raise 5-6.
Yeah, that's true. So on the right, I three bet pre-flop. It's marginal. I didn't notice we were so deep. 100 BB, I guess it's okay. 200 big blinds, it's not as great anymore. Bet
Right.
the flop and he raises. It's not too big, but like, what can I do? Just muck. Yeah, three bet is bad pre-flop, especially against him. He seems to be a regular. Yes, three betting on the right. If he opens
I mean, again, just a rainbow hand. I probably just fold this.
this one on the right,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
really fold it on a button if he's opening.
Yeah,
I think Magic Ninja said you should be three betting if you have four cards above a nine, nine and higher.
it's rainbow.
Yeah, but I mean we have the button and everything.
I mean,
You're
you're also insanely deep right here. You're 230 big blinds deep.
So 100 big blinds, you are three betting it, but deep you are not three betting it, not even playing it.
Even 100 big blinds, I'm not necessarily gonna three bet this against like maybe a
Okay,
really loose player. You can three bet, but it's
okay,
not that
okay.
good of a hand.
All right. I mean, I guess this is probably too loose, but I assume the button is not gonna be too aggressive, so we can still open it on the cutoff.
Yeah, I agree. I would open that hand on the cutoff every time.
No, this guy on the left is taking so long every time. Um, we're gonna bet the flop and just bet the turn. Bet the river, I guess. Now we
Yep.
made a set, so now we just check and I hope to make a boat.
Yep.
Yeah, what does the get a call like Royal Flush? You are dead. Wow. Wow, wow. I would have called 20. Nah, I fold to 20 probably. Well, like, yeah, interesting.
His play is pretty standard there, other than the river bet size.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think he could lead the turn sometimes? Like he's got the absolute nuts, and what are we gonna bet on the turn? He also has blockers to anything that could bluff.
Yeah, leading the turn is probably better than checking the
Yeah,
turn. I
because
think
we
about
might
it.
call with ace, like with a set or lower
Yeah,
flush and everything.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
You also just build the pot for when the board pairs. I mean, when the board pairs, I guess you're
Yeah.
pretty much gonna stack him anyway. But
Yeah. Well, he might just check back the turn and give up the river if he bets big on the river, but call every time the turn.
right,
Given he figures he's got 10 outs. So if you get led on a turn by this guy, I mean, not by him, but like in a similar spot, what do you do with pocket kings? I guess it's just a fold because it's so obvious when the board pairs what you have. Um, Also, if the ace comes, it doesn't even mean you have the best hand because you can have aces up.
right. It depends how much he bets. If he bets half pot, I'm still calling just because I find like some random player at 3-6 who's not topping off is probably not even gonna fold when the board pairs.
Yeah.
Um, someone leads pretty strong, I'm probably folding because it's really, really hard for him to be bluffing here. Even if he has the naked jack of clubs, it means he usually has a straight.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the game is so slow for some reason.
Yeah, these tables are going really slow.
Yeah. All right, folding this.
Yep, standard.
So, would you say playing under the gun, you probably play even less in Omaha than you do in No Limit 6 max, given position is so much
Mm,
more important?
I probably play about close to the same amount, maybe. One thing in PLO is you can limp.
Yes.
Another thing is also that hands run closer in value, so you can play a few more of them.
Yeah. Also depends on the table, who's
Right.
behind and everything. If you have a fish in the blinds, you're more likely to open under the gun.
Absolutely.
Or this Magedy guy, he's just so slow. Right, playing this. Good
Seems
flop.
like seems like everyone is taking 3 seconds
Yeah, this
at
is
least.
very weird. We just bet 70. Uh, I guess we could bet 60. Do you think it's matters to bet 60 for like overall balancing plan?
This deep, probably not. You're probably better off betting a little bigger either way.
Right, because you can barrel. Um,
Right,
yeah. Also, if he's raising, and we probably have some room to rebluff this deep.
right.
We don't even get to see any hands so far. Oh, actually, guy on the left is all in.
What does he have? The Hold'em managers covering it. The Ace Queen Nine. What's the other card?
A7. Let's see.
Let's check
He
out that
had
hand.
he had he raised and got called and just check called to flop. What did he have? A7 9 queen.
Oh, never mind. They're really short. This isn't even
Yeah,
that
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Pretty standard.
Oh, on the right we have a hand coming up. Uh, this is a tough spot for him, right? I mean, this deep, if you get raised here and you don't have anything super. I mean, what range do you really continue on this deep when you get raised on this board? You really need like a set. Even pocket sixes, you're not happy, right?
Yeah, pocket sixes you're not happy with, but King King and 9 9 obviously you're pretty happy with.
Yeah,
Something like King 9 with a flush draw.
yeah, something like that. It's a good spot to bluff raise, a multi-way, especially right by him. If he's bluffing, but he seems so loose passive. I don't even know if he's bluffing too much. Here, this guy is leading the gut. This is like really annoying because he's short. We got a gut shot with top pair. Actually gonna muck. I think he's got 9 10 jack. He might have better top pair with better kicker and better draws. I'm just folding.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty close. You need a little bit less than 40% equity on the left
Yeah.
there.
So on the right, actually, he stacked him. That's interesting. Um, so they got it in, and he had aces with a nut flush draw, and this guy had just top pair with a flush draw. I'm not sure about their play. Shouldn't the guy with aces be just calling the race on the flop?
No, definitely you stick it in here. Your hand is so
This
strong.
deep, this deep. I mean, he had.
Oh
Oh, he
yeah,
had a gut shot as well. Never mind. He had a
yeah,
gut shot.
and a backdoor flush draw. He's got a really strong
So
hand.
what's the reason for re-raising instead of calling? Do you want to re-raise to stack like worse flush draw?
A, you guarantee that when you make your hand, the other guy's gonna pay you off because something like the two of diamonds comes or whatever, and the other guy's got king nine, he might just check back and fold. Um, the other reason is just that you have more equity than him. You have a better hand than whatever his range is there.
Okay. So on the left, you got three bet by the same guy. He bets a flop. I'm gonna call. I think it's marginal. You have backdoor flush draw and a seven. And he might just give up. I'm hoping he might give up, but not too sure. It's a fold. Now we turn two flush draws. I guess we have. I don't know if it matters too much that we have the nine high flush draw on this flop. Actually, I think it's a fold. I mean, nine high flush draw. If it's not flush draw, we can call the flop. I probably overestimate the fact that he might give up. I don't think he's giving up on the turn too much. I guess we gotta get it in now. maybe just calling and hoping to improve is better than to get it in. Yeah, I think it's better play.
Yeah, it depends on whether or not you think he's gonna.
Bet
You think he's
fold,
gonna bet fold the turn. I mean, that's an odd bet size that he made on the turn,
not
given
potting
that
it.
there's two flush draws out there.
Yeah,
Another possibility is he could have something like 10-5, like 8-9-10-5, and he's
yeah.
bet folding.
Right. I actually didn't know. I didn't rebuy, so which is annoying. I should have just folded the. I don't know. What do you think about the flop?
I think the flops, it's close. It's a call with the backdoor nut flush draw, I think.
Yeah.
Also a seven usually gives you the best hand
Yeah,
here.
seven for sure. I mean, on the river, this is weird. He bets so small. It's a good spot to bluff for him. He can also have the nuts, and we have two sevens, so we'd like take away 4, 6, 7 out of his range a little bit. And if he's got 4, 6, he needs to have like 3, 4, 5, 6 at his 3-bet preflop. He beats us anyways, folding. Yeah, on a turn, if he had like an open ender as well, we definitely get it in or a gut shot. I just had two flush draws. Let's see.
Yeah, only because he bet that size, and I think there's some chance he's bet folding there.
Yeah, so if he's potting, you definitely just call because you don't have any fold equity.
Right.
Do you think opening to pot under the gun is the best way in Omaha? I mean, like on a just to prevent them from calling in position too much.
I wouldn't make a general rule like that because you're gonna have hands under the gun that you're gonna want to open for less, so you can call a re-raise. So I mean, it just depends so much on all sorts of other factors like who's on the table, where they
Yeah.
are relative to your seat, what hand you have, how deep you are.
So on this flop, I feel like, well, he's leading, which is, I'm just mucking here. I mean, we have backdoor flush. I would have c-bet the flop just to take it down, but I'm not even sure if that's correct. I mean, if the button is too loose, who calls a lot, then c-betting is not even profitable here. Given it somewhat hits the range, he can have like open enders easily. He can have a jack, queen, jack 10, and easily a 9 as well.
I would still see bet this. I mean, open ender, he's not going to call with another player still to act when you're betting into him here. He's just going to fold that. But Queen Jack 10, he might call, and he might even still fold that.
Right. If you had a flush draw on this flop, do you still see bet or do you then prefer checking, check folding, given people are, I mean, do people fold an open ender but call with a flush draw? Do they fold both because it's paired board?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably likely.
Okay. So you let twice. Guy folded. Yeah, the games are so slow. I'm probably gonna replay some table. This usual game of action, but there is no action today.
Yeah, how many hands per hour are going on these tables? It seems like every
Yeah.
hand takes 3 minutes.
Yeah. All right, I got another table. We're gonna replace. I mean, the left is more like the right is so. I don't even know. I'm just gonna bring in a table if there is any action. I have another table going. Yeah, this Brozev guy, he seems to be playing so many tables. That's why it's so slow.
Yeah.
The guy's disconnecting on the left. I think I'm gonna replace left table. Now we have aces. We gotta play the hand. Like, yeah, guy's also short, so he's gonna just be bad for the game, for the video as well. Yeah, there you go. But Brozov is taking 10 seconds. Oh man. He's going for the Supernova Elite though.
Nah, he's not gonna make it at this rate.
Yeah. Ah, that's really annoying. Actually gonna try to find a table without him because another table he's also sitting at. So I'm wow. We got aces here. We are deep, but like somewhat okay aces, singles. Now another guy disconnected. Unbelievable. We're still gonna three bet this, right? I mean, yeah, Bomari might just get it in. Who's short, so we sort of isolate Brozev.
Yeah, I'd be three betting here. I mean, these are decent aces too. You have ace,
Yeah,
ace, jack with suited ace.
yeah. He's gonna call for sure, I guess, now because like he's just too deep to fold. Let's see how long it takes till he decides. Yeah, he did call. Um, I guess I'm just gonna. I mean, check calling is probably nah. Like taking it down is good. But like check calling is probably also okay, given we have like a gut shot. But I guess probably just betting is overall better. I feel like if you have a guy who's really good at bluff raising in Omaha, um, it is probably slightly better to check call. Or do you still think you need to bet?
I don't
Because
agree. I would just bet and jam it over whatever.
even 250 BB deep.
Sure. I think you just get bluff raised here so much.
All right, then we're gonna jam. I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't have backdoor flush draw, but like, I'm not too sure in Omaha anymore because people, yeah, it's also small board, so he doesn't have like 4-5 too much, and
Yeah.
not too much. He's got a set and stuff. So I mean, if you had say a different board, like say you have, um, say it's higher cards, so it's like 7-8 jack or a 7-8 queen, and you have like ace ace 10 jack, and do you still see bet?
On queen eight seven
Yeah,
ace
so you
ace
have
jack 10
yes, so you have a
with
gut shot with an overpair, but you're very
backdoor
deep.
flush draw.
Does it really matter too much if you have backdoor
Of
flush? Do you
course.
bet get it in?
That's 4% more. That's 4% equity there.
All right, yeah,
Every particular aspect of the hand matters. PLO.
yeah. Okay, let's see if you find another better table here. It's more action and no Brosev on it. He's on all the tables, on every single table he is at.
He's probably just 15 tabling away.
Yes, yes. Really bad time. Again, I mean here we have position, so we sort of just three bet. I still don't like it too much because usually people call and then it's four-way and we are just I mean we have suited ace, so it's fine. We might take it
Right.
down actually pre-flop because it's a huge three bet. I mean it's
I'd be three betting here almost every time unless there was a really aggro player in the blinds who's three betting a lot, in which case there's some value in
yeah,
letting him squeeze. But the nice thing about three betting here is that a lot of times they might just check to us and our hand plays pretty well. It's not like we're out
yeah,
of position here.
yeah. So now we flop the wrap and with an overpair. So I mean against naked flush draw we are doing pretty. I mean not pretty good, but good enough because he doesn't have any pair. So just gonna like make him a better pair. Um, I don't know about checking though. Like, let's see. Still think I'm gonna bet. Maybe like bet fold if Kimo goes all in because he's worried about a guy behind him. Like, what is he gonna have? 4, 5. Four, five, six is a flush draw. Yeah, this is really annoying. I was gonna say I'm gonna fold. Gonna look really bad on camera if it's not a folding meal. Oh man, why am I playing deep? 300. Actually, we only need like 33% equity, so I'm gonna get it in. I'm not sure about this. The problem is there is a flush draw.
You need more than 33. He has so
Yeah, I
much
need
behind. But at the
30.
same time, this is not even close. You have to get this in. This is
Really.
not yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. Like against his hand, we had 40% because he had what did he? He even had a pair.
Yeah, he had one of the worst hands that you could be up
Yeah.
against your pair plus flush draw and backdoor flush draw, and you still have 41%. He's gonna have kings with the flush draw, which
Yeah,
you're
against kings you're
ahead
doing
of.
pretty good. Yeah.
Um, he could just have, I mean, he could have like 5, 6, 8 or something like that. You're beating that. Two pair, you're 7-4. You're probably flipping maybe slightly
We have
ahead
a
of
rep
depending on
as
the side
well, so
card.
we are probably pretty. We can counterfeit this two pair as well.
Yeah, this isn't even close. You're
Interesting is,
ahead.
does it really matter that we have a wrap, or would you, how far would you go and say it's not even close? Like if the tray is a 10,
If the tray is a 10, I think I'm still stacking. Um, I mean, the wrap just makes it a no-brainer though, because against two pair, you have so much more equity. I mean, it just improves your equity against pretty much every hand that he can have.
yeah.
Whenever he
Just
makes two
worried there
moves,
is
he
a
gets you so
flush.
many more
This is,
outs.
if you have pocket kings, I mean, king, 5, 6, uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
king 5, 6, I'm stacking for sure.
yeah, because I was told if he has just like ace 10 of clubs, king, he's flipping against king, 5, 6, right?
Right, but that's a pretty good hand for him to have.
Yeah. All right. Would have been a horrible fold. Actually, I'm gonna sit back in here, I think, because Brozov was on every single table.
Yeah, we've about 10 more minutes to go.
All right. I'm just really just six max. I'm worried way more than heads up when playing Omaha. Same goes for No Limit because people just seem to have it more often than not.
Yeah.
In this hand, though, I mean, he doesn't have a set on the flop. It's just impossible for him to have a set unless he's got 7, 7, 6, 6 or something like that for 4, 5, 5. I mean, or like king, 4, 4, which is possible. So he's usually gonna have a draw.
He's playing 34 VPIP. He can have something. He can have some other hands that we might not
So
be
like
playing.
4, 5, 6, 7 he can have, which
Yeah,
is
4, 5, 6, 7 anyone can have.
yeah,
Um, the other thing here is I'd bet more on the flop. I think you're putting yourself in a bad situation, giving them the opportunity to just
the
flat.
call. Yeah,
I might
this is
I might
also
just
true.
I might just pot call or bet like 450.
Let's see. 450 is probably better. Also, if you bet 450, you're just giving yourself better pot odds on a call when you jam, so you can't fold anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to bet 450 here. You're not. I don't think you're ever going to be bet folding that flop three ways when you missed. So
So you just don't even see bet as a bluff on a board like this.
I guess you could bet 450 because if you have naked aces, you might bet fold them. That
Yeah,
makes sense actually, because if they call, you can get it on a blank.
yeah.
So 450 is probably the right bet size there.
Oh, bros, of unbelievable. I mean, you got aces again. It's yeah, math is really, really important for Omaha. It seems like way more important than for No Limit. Just gonna bet the flop. I mean, just gonna bet. I'm not sure if you ever check called this. We have a gut shot backdoor flush draw. At the same time, we can bet and make him fold like king queen if he folds that, which is gonna be good. Now we're betting the turn, giving me the straight just in case he has. Hmm. He might bet himself. Actually, I'm gonna check call. Unless he's folding like 7-8 anyway. If I bet, but if he's got I don't know, like King 10 or 6-8, he might bluff the turn or like a random float.
I would always bet here. I mean, how can he have a random float in PLO on this board?
Why not? Like
He's always gonna have two pair at least by now.
he's not calling with two pair, right?
I mean, if he has two pair and a flush draw or two pair and a gut shot, he probably is.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like people float these boards a lot because I'm not even c betting with too much air. So you're right. They don't have it. Um,
What?
See, there you go. It was floating. I mean, aces
Yeah,
is just a float.
you got lucky there, but
Yeah.
results oriented.
Yeah. So
You
I
definitely bet there.
isolated on the right. Um, like somewhat decent hand. I mean, not great hand, but like good enough, I guess. I'm out of positions, also probably not too great. Gonna bet this flop. Bet
Yeah,
fold.
this is borderline. I think it's okay
Yeah.
considering how loose this one guy is.
Yeah. So on a left, you are gonna bet the turn for protection mainly and value from like two pair with a flush draw. Or maybe a set. Actually, they can have, oh yeah, I forgot about set. He can have a 7-7 or something, or like 8, I mean 7-8-9, 7-8-8-9 maybe. So we are getting value from that.
Yeah, we'd be getting value from a set there.
So
Set two pair and flush draw, two pair and gut shot, maybe just
yeah,
two pair.
yeah, I was pretty sure he would fold two pair. No. Broseph. On the right, I'm gonna call. Now I'm gonna fold. Um, do you fold it though against another gun 4x open, or do you still play this deep?
I probably just fold it to the gun open. This guy's pretty tight.
Yeah. Any merit in three betting as a semi bluff this deep in position with a somewhat playable hand? I mean, it flops. Yeah, like it can flop pretty well, I guess, sometimes.
Not really. I would just pick a better hand at three bet here.
If it's
If
double
you
suited, you three bet.
Yeah, double suited, you can three bet this.
Okay. Yeah, interesting that it may matters a lot that if it's suited or not, or double suited or not. Oh, Brosov is tanking.
Big
And
surprise.
yes,
Maybe we'll play out to our blinds.
yeah. Gonna try to avoid Brosov.
I
Yes.
can't remember I don't think I've ever taken a note like that in my entire online poker career. It's very slow.
He will never be slow rolling people though. He's just he takes a while. Oh, look at this. I mean, come on. Oh, we folded. It is, but it's actually a pretty good habit, like, to take 5 seconds or like 3 seconds before you decide what to do, because I know myself that I just snap call or like a bet calls or whatever. I don't even know why I do it instead of thinking about it and maybe folding because I don't beat anything, but I like just snap.
Right.
Also, you're not giving away any timing tells if you like take 5 seconds every time. All right. Yeah, usually people play way faster, especially in Omaha, so you just stick it in and hope.
Close their eyes.
Yeah, you always have equity, so it's fine. You're playing this. Do
Definitely.
you three bet it? Like you open it, I'm gonna three bet. We are so deep. You also
Right.
isolate him
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah, and you have position.
Yeah, out of position actually. We can also three bet, I guess. Even
Yeah,
this
out of
deep.
position, I'd be three betting
Just
too.
um, Mariah is well. He's somewhat nitty at opening, so he should have a stronger range. Even if you four bet, you can just call.
Right.
The interesting flop. I'm just gonna bet because we can take it down, and also if he's check raising, we can still call with a backdoor. We have like two backdoor straight draws and a nut flush draw.
Right.
I bet a little bit bigger, so he's more willing. I actually probably doesn't really matter if you bet 130. Just looks more
Right.
credible that we have a hand. If you bet 160 this deep,
The other thing also here on this board is that he's pretty much almost never check raising you.
yeah, yeah. Unless he's got like even with pocket trace, he's just which he doesn't have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pocket ace,
unless
he's
he's
not check raising.
yeah, aces he's yeah, aces I guess. So turn, I mean, the problem is what does he have? Looks like he's got some type of top pair. Um, I'm just gonna bet the turn. I don't think he's check raising unless he's got 4-5, and then he needs like ace 4-5, ace deuce 4-5, or like ace king 4-5, I guess.
Right.
Man. So like if we bet the turn and he just called, what type of rivers do you jam? I mean, obviously club.
Probably if the board pairs, um, like an eight, I'd be likely to jam.
Do you jam spades?
Probably not.
Looks like he can have them when he check calls the turn because we have clubs already. What
Right.
does he have now? This looks like ace 4-5 or like eight
I mean,
seven.
he could have like ace eight that picked up spades or a
Yeah,
set of eights that picked up
yeah,
spades, something like that too, for
that's
sure.
true. That's true. Yeah. So any merit in actually checking the turn, or is there too much fold equity we can gain by betting the turn again and making him fold like ace seven? I don't even know, like ace king. Is he
Yeah,
folding
no,
ace
I
king?
like I like betting.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he's folding ace king unless he has something to go with it.
yeah. All right. So this is it for this episode, I guess.
Yep, this is going to be episode 5. If you guys have any questions, post them in the video thread and tune in next week for episode 6.
See you guys.